Superman is directed by James Gunn and also written by him. And of course, this is a new starting point of the DC Universe, DCU. And this is another reboot of the Superman film series. When Superman gets confronted by the conflict and all being questioned by Hoult and our board, Lex Luthor tries to find a way to get rid of the Man of Steel out of the way for good. This film has been mostly highly anticipated, including myself. I was anticipating for this movie. I was looking forward to this film. This movie is probably the biggest film of the year, maybe the biggest film of that time. A lot of people were excited for this film. A lot of people were hyping for this. Could be the new starting point of the DC universe. As far as the Superman movies go, I love the first two Christopher Reeves films, which is both are, great films as they are own. I love those two films, but dear but to my heart. Then we have the other two, Superman 3 and Superman 4 Quest for Peace, which are not that great. I haven't seen them, but I've heard they're pretty terrible, especially the fourth one is the worst. Superman Returns, I remember seeing it a long time ago. It's been a while since I watched it. I found the movie, looking at it, I think it's fine. It was alright, not great. Then, of course, a decade ago, we had Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. It exists. I know it has its fans, but I thought it was just, whatever. It's not bad, but it was, I don't know, I've had conflict feelings on that movie. But with this new reboot for this DC universe, with new Superman actor David Corenswet, and of course James Gunn directed the film, now he's the head honcho of DC Studios. Could be the next stepping point for the old DCU, which the old DCU is very messy and convoluted. It has no direction. But this one with James Gunn involved, this could potentially be, a welcome return for this new DC universe. And I'm pleased to say, I really like this film. I had a fun time watching this movie. This is a fun movie. By all means, it's not perfect. There are some couple of things in there I would go ahead through the negatives, but let's start off the positives. I just want to get this out of the way. David Corenswet as Clark Kent, Superman. He is Superman. He is our Superman for this DC universe. He really captures, embodies the spirit, the persona, everything what Superman makes Superman Superman. It's just amazing how he brought that character in, his way the character is written, his sense of humor is really good, his character. But you do get a lot of it here and there, and of course his personality to his character, which is really good, and of course his Clark Kent and personality as well. He's actually quite good. He is definitely playing that character very, very well. And of course, you do have Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, who is basically a very established character who is basically in a relationship with Clark, which does give you a little context of the film, which we'll get to in a moment. But I do appreciate they do just get the origin out of the way. It doesn't rely on the origin. You do get some certain aspects of the origin, but it's not an origin story all over again, because we've always seen Superman's origin story so many times. Let's just get to the point, just get to the story, get to the main story of the film, and just get to Superman as a character has already been established, which I did like. And of course, David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan's chemistry, they both are amazing. Both of them are just electrifying couple, which at the moment you do see them, you do feel they're a real couple. They have been established, and you do get a sense of that awe and wonder to it, which I do love. And I just love their chemistry in this film. And of course, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. He is despicable, but he steals the show. He's really power hungry, and also you get the reasons why he hates Superman, but also has an obsession with him. Do you get that Lex Luthor right? And then definitely he's a lot better than Jesse Eisenberg from Batman v Superman, which, yep, I said it, come at me. His Lex Luthor is amazing. He's probably the best thing going for it. And of course, you do have Crypto, the super dog. Crypto, I love him. He's adorable. And anytime he's on screen, I just can't help but go, oh, you cute little fucker. I love you. And of course, you do have some other characters like the Justice Gang, which I will say this, the only one I really liked is Mr. Terrific. I can't remember the actor's name, but he was actually really good. He was a fun character to watch. He has some fun personalities here and there. But as far as the other two, Guy Gardner / Green Lantern and Hawkgirl, played by Isabela Merced, I hope I pronounced the actress name wrong, I do apologise. Both of them are good. They both are fun to watch, but they didn't have much to do besides helping out the battle. But there's not much to which the characters, because in this film, you got so many characters. You do get some like characters, like some established characters, try to establish this universe. And you know, you do get Frank Grillo's character, I think it's Rick Flag Sr. I think it's basically the father of Rick Flag Jr. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. I'm not familiar with DC stuff, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, politely please if I've got that bit wrong. You know, he was there, Frank Grillo's good, but he was just there, you know, as a minor role. Don't know if they're going to appear in the future of the DC universe, and of course, you know, it does feel like James Gunn is trying to establish the universe, which I get he's trying to go for, but they try to establish these certain characters and try to, you know, say, oh yeah, here's this stuff, and oh yeah, we're going to set up this. It doesn't feel like a setup movie. It stands on its own, but you compare it to the first Iron Man film with Robert Downey Jr., which, you know, the first Iron Man film, you know, yes, it does set some characters, certain, you know, world building like S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that jazz, but, you know, the way that Iron Man works, it works as a standalone film. You do get some established stuff and also connect some universe building, but it stands on its own thing, you know, stands on its own feet. Well, Superman does in that way, but it does feel like the build universe just felt a bit rushed. They try to say, oh yeah, there's that and there's that, but it doesn't give you a chance to slow down a little bit with the established universe or try to see what's going on. But despite all that, while the story is straightforward, it is consistent throughout. It's not messy or anything, but there's just some sort of characters and certain plot points, and it does kind of feel a little bit too much going on. It does too much to handle type of thing. But it does, right, the heart and soul is there, and it does establish as a Superman film. And of course, you do get a little bit of context from the beginning of the film. It tells you to be text, tell you what's going on by this universe, and talk about how Superman came to Earth, and it tells you about, 3 years ago, then 3 weeks later, and then hours. It tells you all this information. It's not like info dumping. It just gives you some context on what's going on. And as far as, you know, as a Superman film, I think it's works so well. It captures the lighthearted tone. I like the tone. It's very campy, very comic booky, which I do like. I do like its style, what James Gunn brings. He does bring his flair in, like the humor, and, you know, the heart is still there. You got some heartwarming moments. You do get some characterizations. You do get some cameos, especially one in the right at the end, which, oh boy, that sets up for the future of the DC universe. And of course, you do get a little cameo, which the moment I saw that, I remember going, oh, right. Which I'm going to say, but if you watch the film, you know who I'm talking about. The moment you do see it, it's just him on TV talking to an interviewer. I'm not going to say give it spoilers, but when you watch it, you kind of go, oh, I know who that character is. And of course, the action scenes are amazing. They're fun to watch. They're fun action. It's action-packed. I was engaged with the action. There's so much high stakes. And, you know, it has a mixture of practical, but also using CGI effects as well. But most of it is actually filmed practical, which I'm really impressed with James Gunn's style of it, because it doesn't use like green screen or blue screen. It's mostly practical. You do get some CGI here and there, but most of it is practical effects. And I do actually appreciate it. It makes it look seamless. It looks actually really well done. And of course, you do get anything like from James Gunn is the humor. I laughed about 85 to 90% of the film. I did laugh consistently. But when it comes to the emotional moments or some character moment growth, which kind of ruins it with the jokes, when the jokes comes in, it does kind of feel abrupt. And I kind of feel like, can we just give some characters to grow or give some moments to shine, which humor is objective in a way, but you do get that humor is a little bit too much to handle, which I can get why the humor's there, but it doesn't really bother me. But I just wish the humor could have been toned down a little bit. You know, it does get a little bit overboard. There were a couple of times I was like, okay, can we, you know, don't too much on the jokes, just maybe turn it down a little bit. It does come a little bit too cheesy, a little bit too campy. But again, I appreciate James Gunn for his lighthearted tone. I do appreciate for his lightheartedness, and I do liked it. I thought it was pretty decent. And of course, the theme score is actually pretty good. I don't know who composed it, but of course you do get the John Williams Superman theme, which it's not really John Williams score. It's kind of like a mixture of, it's like a remix of it. But you do hear the theme. I remember going, oh, the Superman theme, music to my ears. It's just, oh. Every time I hear it, I just get so much nostalgia. I got a smile on my face. The moment I hear that theme, I just got a big, big, giant smile on my face all throughout. I would say Superman is actually a really good time. It's definitely not a perfect movie. It definitely has some things in there like the humor, you know, some of the stuff could have been done better with the writing, and certain characters could have been removed, you know, like the Justice Gang, which I know they might be there to be there, but I did feel like if you're going to make them in there, make them relevant to the story. But I feel like they're just there to be there for fan service wise, or maybe just there to say, oh, here, they're established, but you will see them again in a certain future in the DC universe, like they're down the line. But despite all that, I had a good time with Superman. I'm definitely on board with this new DC universe. I'm very excited to see what James Gunn can bring and what he can bring to this universe. If they can keep it consistent throughout for this DC universe, then I'm on board. So Superman is definitely a worthy, super saving time to see this on the biggest screen as possible. I'm going to give Superman 2025 a B+. Before I end this video, I just want to make this really clear to all you guys talking to the Snyder fandom out there. So just keep it clear. If you want this film to fail, or if you want this film to get bad reviews or hate on people who likes the film, then my word of advice to you guys:
you need to get a grip.
I don't want to sound negative here, but to all you guys say I want this film to fail and you want the Snyderverse to come back, guys, I'm sorry, but please get a grip of yourself. It's not going to happen.
Isn't some cartoon musical where you sing a little song and your insipid dreams magically come true? So let it go.
Move on, get a life, get a job, get a hobby, get some friends, touch some grass, smell the coffee, wake up, smell reality here. It's not going to happen. Move on. Okay, even if this movie does fail, even though I don't think it is, it's doing well at the box office from its opening weekend. We'll see how it goes throughout the couple of weeks. But please, to all you guys, go and see this film. It is worth your time. If you want to see a good Superman film, please go and see this. If you're not interested, don't watch it. Just go find something else to watch. Go see Jurassic World, or go see Megan 2, or go see something that is worth your time, or go see something that is worth your money. But anyways, rant's over. Overall, guys, comment down below and tell me, what do you think of Superman? Do you love it? Do you like it? Do you think it's alright? Or do you hate it? Whatever the case is, comment down below civilly, please. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, see ya.